Alright, I just want to come out here and say a few things about what's going on and to kind of lead y'all in a direction to ask certain questions. Not hard questions at all, common sense questions. I'm talking about the Sound of Freedom movie that's being released all over the country, that the mainstream media is smearing, that Hollywood is smearing, that career politicians are smearing, that globalists are smearing. They're only smearing it because it's exposing them. What kind of people would smear a movie that's based on the true events of child sex trafficking, pedophilia? What kind of people would do that? What kind of people would smear that kind of movie? The very same people that participate in it. The very same kind of people that benefit from child sex trafficking. The same kind of people that benefit from the beauty aids that they get from these kids. That's why you're seeing these people smeared. Because they know they're being exposed. And they know what's coming for them. And they're in a position of power to where they can control it. Or they think they can. Their reign is coming to an end. And they know it. They're going to do everything they can to keep this covered up. Even smearing it. Even by calling it a conspiracy theory. You ever notice that any time any kind of exposure on them comes up, they always call it a conspiracy theory? Here's a conspiracy theory for you. Years ago, CBS, they ran an interview with Tim Ballard, the one that ran the Operation Underground Railroad investigation into child sex trafficking. He run this investigation. He got mingled into it to find out what it's all about. And they praised him for that. Because at that time, CBS and the rest of the networks thought it was a great thing that he was doing this, exposing all this. But now, that very same media outlet is sitting there criticizing the movie, criticizing the results of the investigation. And you have to ask yourself why. Why would they do that? It's to cover up. It's to keep it quiet. It's to keep you from watching it. It's to keep you from waking up to what's really going on in this world so that you don't go after these people that's been doing this for decades. The same media that told you for 2 years during Trump's term about the gun control debate, we have to save our kids. We have to save our kids. We have to save our kids. But now that a movie comes out based on true events of the atrocities that's going on with our kids, now those very same media outlets are sitting there saying, no, that's conspiracy theory. In other words, they're saying, no, don't protect the kids. Even though they sat there and ran their mouth for years talking about, we got to save our kids. But now they're not worried about saving the kids. All they're worried about is their reputation. The exposure that's coming out on them. When are you people going to wake up to what's really going on in this world? It's time you people stand up. How many times have we heard the LGBTQ community out here on camera coming out of their own mouth? We're queer. We're here. We're coming for your kids. Now, why would queer people be worried so much about what your kid decides to be? Unless it's a benefit for them in the long run. These people don't care about your kids. They only care about your kids for what they can get out of your kids. And now I'm telling you right now, you need to protect your kids. If you have to, keep them out of public school. Homeschool your kids. Don't take your eyes off of your kids. If you see a kid being dragged away by what you may think is their parents, go up there and question them parents. Find out if that is their parents. And if it's not their parents, I'm telling you right now, beat the living holy shit out of them. And then call the cops. Because we're finding out that some cops are involved too. Capitol Hill police officer was arrested for a bunch of child pornography on his computer. What about the Missouri police officer that was arrested for having a bunch of child pornography on his computer? Am I saying go attack police officers? No, I'm not saying that. But you can call these people out. What's the best way to call these people out? Gather up a bunch of people and start exposing some of these pedophiles. Expose them. Have y'all ever heard of predator poachers? Maybe y'all should watch that sometimes. There are people out here that are tracking some of these people down, going to their house and questioning them about what they're doing online with some of your kids. Expose them. Bring them out in the public. And you know what'll happen? You'll start seeing a lot of these career politicians start coming after you. And then everybody will see the exposure. Everybody be scratching it. Now, why are they coming after these people for exposing a pedophile? Unless they're involved in pedophilia themselves. Unless they're benefiting from this child sex trafficking. Hollywood's the same way. Mel Gibson tried to tell you people years and years ago. You all remember back when media and Hollywood was telling y'all that Mel Gibson was an alcoholic, an abusive husband, and all that stuff. That was just a smear campaign. That's all it was. He wasn't an alcoholic. He wasn't an abusive husband. It was just a way to smear him to get y'all not to listen to what he had to say. He was exposing it years ago. That's why they smeared him. All I'm telling you people, you better wake up. This world is not what you think it is. These people don't care about your kids. They only care what they can get from your kids. This isn't over. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But it takes a multitude of people, a revolution, to get these people out of the way. They know the punishment coming for them. And they will fight to the death to keep this from being exposed of their wrongdoings against our kids. Wake up. This isn't a game. Your kid's future depends on you standing up for your kid, because they're sure not going to stand up for your kid. They're going to stand up to take your kids away from you. And the administration up here, talking about they're going to indict somebody for exposing their criminal acts. An administration indicting a presidential candidate. In other words, political prosecution. And using the justice system to go after people that's exposing their crimes. They're in a position of power to where they can do this. But it's up to us to stop them. It's time to stand up. Rise up. It takes many people to stop it. And we can do it. You may think that they'll send the military. Yeah, they'll send their little pansy military after you. But the good military, they're on standby. And they know it. And they're scared to death. That's why they're fighting. Fighting to the death. So y'all have a good day. God bless. Peace, love, and happiness to each and every one of y'all.